I'm not gonna lie, it was off to a pretty rough start.
That's expensive. I was working on this car till 3 in the morning, and I'm gonna come out here and send it for the super lap, dude.
I rolled the dirt some like a piggy. I dang near made out with a hairdresser, but I wasn't gonna let any of that stop me from turning around and setting my personal best.
Holy crap! Yeah!
This is 2025 Super Lap Finals, and you're on Racist Idiot.
Who is this racist idiot?
Yo, dudes. It is a beautiful Saturday. I think I actually got the Corvette fixed, and we are pretty much already here at Suka Circuit. I've been squabbling all day with the GoPros to get those things up and running, and it looks like I finally have done so, and it is time to get to the track and have an awesome time, provided I didn't show up too late for them to let me run. There is still an element of suspicion there, but we're going to go ahead, go full charge like everything's going to go right. But yeah, it's been one hell of a struggle. So for the last 3.5 weeks, I want to say, the vet's been on the lift. We replaced the harmonic balancer, front main seal, timing cover, water pump, added the oil cooler, and I spent all night last night tricking with the oil cooler, getting that thing to stop leaking. It looks like I actually succeeded finally. So it's time to come to the track and hope for the best. I talked to my counselor friends and their advice of like, hey, if you went through all this, would you track it? Everybody said, yup, be cautious in between sessions. You know, it's only 3 hot laps and a cool down and a warm up after, you know, so hopefully this all goes well. We're about to find out. Yeah, it's a nice, beautiful Saturday morning. This is the finale of the season. Last Super Lap event for the year, so I definitely want to run out there and get this cracking. And if this doesn't work, go on the drag strip.
Let's get right into session 1 as we're heading out for the warm-up lap. Lots of stuff already going wrong, like none of my cameras except for my interior camera that faces me are working at all, which in the end, you know, if I had one camera to work, that was definitely the right one. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the fun part here.
I forgot to turn off the active handling and traction control. Felt all weird out the gates there. Uh-oh. Catching the Miata already. You gonna pass Miata?
That was pretty cool that a Miata ended up pointing me by. I felt pretty good about myself, and I ended up setting my second best lap ever at a 138.924 right before this started to happen.
That's expensive. Ooh, I hope that's not too bad. Am I stuck in this? I'm stuck! My car doesn't look too badly hurt yet. Yeah, I'm stuck! Can I get out? Yeah, I'm stuck, dude. What's up? I thought I was good until I wasn't.
Oh yeah, he's at the wall.
Yeah,
What happened? What happened? You want to do a
So,
report?
yeah, of course, man. So, I'm not shy here. Let me get the car in the frame here. So, yeah, I'm not afraid to come out here and send it. I was working on this car till 3 in the morning. Just barely got it off the alignment rack in time to come out here. I was coming around. You can see the skid marks here. It's a little bit too fast. Just lost it, and into the wall we go. And this is kind of the price you pay when you come out here in your daily. I'm on all seasons. Fortunately, it doesn't look like my car's too worse for wear. There's a little crack in the rear bumper. Whatever, dude. It's all bolt-on parts. I don't have to cut out a quarter, and I'm probably just gonna zip tie it or fiberglass it anyway. So, you know, cost of doing business. My car's got a little bit more battle damage, and I'm gonna come out here and send it for the super lap, dude. Hopefully my alignment's not too screwed up that I just put back on, so I can at least continue for the rest of the day and drive myself home. And if not, I'm an adult. Big boy rules, man. I know what I was coming out here to do, so hopefully it wasn't to break my car, but hey, if it happens on session 1, that's what happens, man. You come out here and risk it. Price of being a racist idiot.
By the way, one of the drift legends over here.
Ooh, how's it going? How's it going? I watched that first person. He's been sending it every single turn. I hear the tires break loose. This time he was, going a little hard. I saw it. I looked away. I looked back in the wall, and I was like, oh my goodness. So love to see it though. I did feel like like to see that too much at super laps. So yeah, always love full sending.
Slow. There you go.
Now I gotta go talk to the ambulance dudes and give them a whole bunch of silly answers to a whole bunch of silly questions.
Bro, what? I get to drive the Corvette. Bro, I'm glad you're okay. Sorry that I get to drive your car, but best part is you're okay, car's okay, drives good, so catch you later. You wanna race? You wanna race?
So I done got checked out by the ambulance, you know, clean bill of health as always. Said that there wasn't even a trace of an elevated heart rate because I was ice cold when I ran off the track. But a little bit of damage here, you know, a little fiberglass, a little paint. That's probably just the paint actually cracked. I don't know if that's even into the glass, so whatever. This paint job came to me messed up anyway. So, you know, a little scufferino, you know, nothing major, honestly, for what happened there. I'm kind of surprised at how well that went. And again, you want to make an omelet, gonna have to crack a bumper, so get after it. I'm gonna go take this thing around the parking lot and make sure she's ready for another sesh. All right, well, we're back in the car after going off track. Once again, my roof camera didn't get it, so I'm pretty sad about that, but at least my interior camera did. You know, ice cold when I go off track, just ZFG, 0 F's given. I got a smile for the camera, but yeah, she feels fine so far at low speeds. Barely even tell what just happened. I think I'll just take her out here onto the road a little bit and just open her up then faster than 20 miles an hour and see what she says. But yeah, I think it's fine. That was a fun little time in the ambulance though, just ice cold. I'm like, no trace of it or elevated heart rate. Like, yeah, dude, because there wasn't one, man. The only thing that's scary about coming out here and messing up like that is how not scary it is. It just feels so, like, just in control. Like, yeah, I'm losing control of the car, but I'm not losing control of my spirit. Dusty. Look at the cloud of dust. No worse for wear though. I'm more concerned about that freaking minor oil leak that I was messing with than anything. Alright, let's not put her back in the tire wall this time. I'm really amazed at how good she feels for how much I made that count. There's my skid marks. Yeah! Yeah! The guy working the corner is very happy to see me back on track. So am I. Equally happy to see you, brother.
Going into session 2, I was a little bit shook. I had just crashed my car right into the corners that I'm heading into right now. That 3 and 4 segment is a pretty tricky little number there, and I'm approaching it very, very respectfully right now, but not very effectively as I'm coming through here, trying not to repeat the skid marks that we have going right there off to the side, and fishtailing as I'm coming out of number 4. And you can kind of see that the tires are heating up. I'm not quite getting it. You know, a lot of being able to drive fast is a psychological game, and being able to perform under that pressure. And I'm coming here through turn number 6, doing all right, but it's about to get really fun at the end of this here straightaway. And I'm going to come into the turn little 8 a little bit too hot here, steered in too much, ate myself some dirt, kicked up some dust and some rocks, but nothing too major. We're right back on track. With a quick little squeal of the tires and some incredibly stupid looking looks on my face, we're heading right off to the end of the session.
All right, session 2. Off track was a lot less timely this time. Let's see what we get. All right, my man.
Maxwell got a 139.752.
Yeah, that's best recorded. Sweet, hell yeah. Captain off track ain't doing too bad. That's an official second off, almost a second off of my my best lap time so far. And we definitely pushing that failure point today. Of course, once in each session. Yeah, that's what you got to do. I love this shit.
I'm going to blame a small portion of my off-course excursion due to the fact that I was just over here just getting completely smoked out and blasted off a Mazda RX-7, man. Just completely wasted. I'm over here trying to get my camera fixed by using the NES method on the SD card, like that's somehow going to fix anything. Oh no, wait, you mean that didn't work? No way, I can't just blow on the SD card to fix it. Yeah, that Mazda smoke is pretty good, man. That rotary Dorito oil smoke gets you pretty blasted. I'm over here just cussing, can't believe this thing doesn't work. Yeah, so, you know, probably wasn't too unstoned for that second session that I did. My first hot lap on session 3 ended up being my fastest lap ever at Squeaker Circuit. I'm not going to overly narrate this because I don't really know what I'm looking at this point anyway, but here we go, shredding down the main straight for my best lap ever.
Felt good. Didn't even go off track this time.
Maxwell got a 137.1.
Holy crap, 2 seconds? Yeah! Ow! 2 more seconds on the board. Yeah! Oh, I knew that session felt really good. Yeah, 137. Oh! Nothing like back-to-back personal bests, MF.
On one of my last laps in session 3, I was beginning to catch a Miata again, which makes me feel pretty good about myself. Miatas are very, very adept track vehicles, and this is not a very horsepower dependent track, and I kind of suck as a driver at this point. So every time I find myself catching a Miata, I feel a little bit extra special about myself. Now I'm coming here through turns 3 and 4, where I had wiped out previously, doing pretty clean, and then the next thing you know, I'm about to make out with a Miata, and I got to swerve from having an imminent head-on collision, dodge that dude, throw him a wave, and we are right back on course, which I didn't do bad in session 3. My first lap was the fastest. My next 2 hot laps were over a second slower, but that included the Miata dodge, so not too bad. Here's another good view thanks to Kaleb, the corner worker, who was on point with the camera ever since I wiped out. I was charging pretty hard on my second to last lap here, heading into turn 2, looking pretty clean. Going pretty fearless as I'm coming into the 3 and 4 interconnection turn here where I'd wiped out previously. I mean, right there's my skid marks. You know, I was just wiping out through there and holding a pretty clean line. I've been back on track since then, and I'm looking at this in hindsight. This is actually pretty solid. Overall, just getting that confidence up, charging my way through. And here I am, ripping down the back straight once again, breaking down into turn 8, a little bit overturning in there, and we're right around facing the opposite direction where I'm supposed to be going again. Get this car to start, come on.
Start up, let's go, come on.
And we're off again. Really pushing my hardest for another personal best, but not getting it on this lap, that's for damn sure.
Last lap of the season, it's all on the line right now. I want that new personal best. racing one day ain't good enough. Scream, baby, scream! That felt fast. If that wasn't fast, then I don't know what fast is. Even when I ran off track, it felt fast. Fast, fast, fast. Another eighth of a tank of fuel gone. The smell of brakes and exhaust strap. Delicious. I love what's cooking today. Absolutely delicious.
Next driver is Curtis Maxwell Line.
Maxwell got a 137.847.
All right, consistent. Damn, I'm a little bit slower. I think I was just going a little bit too hard. I wasn't dialed in, so whatever. Last laps of the season, put it all out, running off track, acting a fool, not mad at none of it. I love being a racist. Time to pack up my pit stall for the last time of the season and start getting this thing more dialed in for next year. Outstanding day. Hell yeah, brothers. I'm a man. All right, we are leaving the super circuit after a very action-packed day with very, very little rear brake pad. I can hear them guys squeaking as I'm stepping on it now. Went off track 3-4 times, hit the tire wall, cracked the car a bit. Time of my life, regret nothing. The only thing that I regret is that there's not another super lap next month. This isn't anything that I can really regret because it's not like it's a decision that I made. But yeah, no more super lap until April. That's a long ways away for a racist like me. The Racist Idiot is done with this racing season over here at Super Lap Asuka Circuit, but I am not done with racist idiocy as a whole. It's gonna get a whole lot dumber from here. So hell yeah, brothers, for watching Horse Power.
Yo, dudes, that was one heck of a ride, wasn't it? I gotta say, Super Lap Finals was a heck of a mountain to overcome, but I feel that I overcame it pretty well. The first thing that I was dealing with there, sleep deprivation. I think I got about 3 hours of sleep the night before. You see the Oil World episodes previous, those who have been following along. That was a gruesome multi-week battle to get this thing barely in time ready for Super Lap, and I had it in the alignment rack, I want to say 7:15 the morning before, so yeah, just a couple of hours of sleep. The other thing too, I hadn't been daily driving my car for that multiple weeks that it was on the rack. I'm usually very in touch with my vehicle, driving around the streets like a hood rat all the time. This was not that time, and unfortunately, I feel that I was off my edge that I would normally have there. The next thing too, camera issues, right? I couldn't get my POV camera to work because the memory card was full, and I also couldn't get the thing to stay into place either on my first session, which the distraction was not helping me out at all. Other thing too is the helmet that I was mounting it to. I was pretty idiotic to think that I could use an aviation grade helmet from the past to use for racing. I just thought a helmet was a helmet, but yeah, that thing was not appropriate for using for racing, unfortunately. And yeah, I made myself look pretty dumb by using that thing for a while. Next thing, perseverance and positivity, man. I mean, I worked really hard to get there, and I wasn't gonna let a little rub into the tire wall get me down.
She's not so bad, man. She's not.
You know, as Nicolas Cage said.
Paint and fiberglass. Yes, indeedy.
Right? Yeah. So, next thing that ended up really cool from that is my YouTube channel with all of its little microscopic following and the few episodes that I put out and following along at the racetrack has netted me the announcer gig over there at Suica Circuit. So I'm super freaking stoked about that. I want to find a way to incorporate that into the channel soon, but really, really awesome opportunity that Eric has provided me over there. Announcing is one of the funnest things that I've ever done short of racing. We got more coming for the rest of the season 1 that we have going on here. We have a couple of episodes of the drag strip and an episode where we're gonna go hit the dyno and see what the Corvette actually does real world on the dyno. So for those of you who've been following along, super appreciative to all of you guys and everybody else that's just starting to follow along now. At 250 followers, I'm gonna do a Mark IV Supermodel giveaway. So tag along. It's gonna be one heck of an awesome racist ride. Brothers and sisters, horsepower.
Damn, bro, that was racist.